Celtics Talk podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com. New England gets more at 24.
The bench. These trips take everyone to get the W. How impactful was that group?
They've been huge. All year they've been huge for us. They come in, kind of change the game, bring energy, 50-50 balls, make shots. Like, they do a little bit of everything for us. So we're a complete team, and we need everybody.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Happy New Year.
1:26 a.m. on the clock.
Can you tell? If you're not watching this, I'm gonna just own it. Can I own it right up front?
Go for it.
I am wearing, if you're just listening, a ridiculously obnoxious, sparkly dress.
So I joked on air that you just wore what you wore on New Year's Eve and you've been in it for 3 days now, but
Basically.
Because it's January 2nd now.
Yeah.
But turns out you were low key on New Year's Eve, and now you're just dressing up for all of us.
I wore sweats on New Year's Eve.
The best New Year's you can have.
And then New Year's Day, I wore this sparkly dress because we were just on air, and I'm like, oh, it's our first time in the new year. And now we wake up, it's January 2nd, and I feel like the walk of shame. I feel like this is like the night you wake up the next morning, you're holding the shoe. Yep. Ladies, if you're out there, I know you've been there. And men.
Well, Kayla's been grinding through.
We all have.
Had to again. Normally we kick it in the comfy mode, but you've been rolling through. Celtics, they rolling too. They take down the Sacramento Kings 120-106. Now 3-1 on this road trip. We got one more night. We got to stay up late, but the tonight was worth staying up. If you were feeling the effects of New Year's Eve, if you were maybe lounging about a little bit today, and hopefully if you kicked on the TV tonight and were kind enough to join us, you were rewarded with a total team win for the Boston Celtics, who get a whole bunch from their bench, then kind of throw the baton to Jalen and Derrick White to take. Every time I do, I keep wanting to say Jason.
Oh, don't do that.
When I say Jalen, because I go Jalen and
I know.
So it's like weird to say Jalen and anybody else.
Soon.
So yeah, well, I know. And so Jalen and Derrick White taking you to the finish line. Just a satisfying win. I know Sacramento's going through it, but they were making every shot early. Good on the Celtics for grinding their way through. Kayla, we're not going super long tonight. What is your headline
That's what I was pulling out
from this game?
My headline: New Year. Same pocket full of D. White. See what I did there? New Year, same pocket full of D. White. It really is 2 points going into the fourth quarter, and you're like, all right, Derrick White time.
But that 2 points, because that was late third when he had the little floater.
The floater, right.
And I was like, all right.
Did you know in that moment?
Oh, I did 100%. I wish I again, in my little my little corner of the newsroom, I wish I had stepped out and said, Derrick White's going to have a big fourth quarter, everybody.
We need to get you a Megatron just so you can announce that.
It would, because I probably wrote it in my notebook. I said, as soon as he made that shot, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
And he opened out the gate in the fourth, scoring right out there. I mean, he had went to the free throw line, had a layup, the three, went back to the line.
Fourth quarter Derrick is just a sight to behold.
It is. And you know what? He knows it. The team knows it. And you could argue, it's funny because when we talk about this, like my headline is how amazing Derrick White was specifically in that fourth quarter, and how it's amazing what a headline is, right? It just summarizes the night. And so for me, that my takeaway was Derrick White in the fourth quarter. One could argue, but he only had 2 points.
Wow.
And then it's like, but
he had all the assists.
It's not right. It's not as exciting. And there are other guys that just stepped up and they were allowed to shine. Like you mentioned it, 35 bench points in the first half. Luka Garza, Ugo both having 9 in that first half. Nemish Keita getting going. Like it was a full team effort. But then, as Eddie puts it, the closers closed out. And Derrick White was a big reason why.
And look, Jalen did his thing in the fourth quarter and was super aggressive. But that first 6 minutes, you kind of knew. And like night to night, it's Jalen's usually getting his last bit of rest to start the fourth quarter. So now it's a tied game. You need someone to just kind of carry you through that stretch. And now the Celtics did a great job kind of turning up the defensive intensity. But, man, when Derrick started knocking down all those shots, I mean, it was a variety. It was like there were some hard drives, pulling up on centers. There was, the threes and checking the pocket. So, this is what Derrick White does.
I love the check pockets.
We had said before to open our pregame show, we show guys walking into the building, and when Derrick walked in a leather jacket, and we both were like, "What? What is happening right now?"
We looked at each other. We said, "Has he ever? Have we really seen him in a leather jacket?"
I have no stats on Derrick White and leather jackets because, to my knowledge, I'm not sure I've ever seen him. Maybe like if it's not like a full sweatsuit, it's still like a hoodie and casual wear.
Yeah, for sure. Or a hat, like a
right. Maybe a bucket hat. Maybe
like a snow hat, something.
Yeah.
But never.
Have a leather jacket. Never like a trendy. Hey, welcome to 2026 leather jacket.
The Celtics did tweet out before the game, stepping into 2026, and did the eye emoji. Maybe they were looking at Derrick White being like, hey, everybody, he's got 7 blocks the night before, career blocks. Check out D. White. He's got a leather jacket.
It was great. And that's when I said he's going to do something tonight that helps him win the game. I thought it would be more consistent output, but you know what? He picked his spots.
Wins a win, yeah.
And luckily the Celtics got enough from everybody else. Which leads to my headline.
What's your headline?
Bench Mobb deep.
Hey, 3 words. Like that.
I didn't get not very wordy after midnight.
That's good. Less is more sometimes.
The bench were shook ones tonight. They went out there. So to start this game, the Celtics have 2 turnovers on the first 2 possessions. The looks disjointed, and I'm thinking, oh boy, this is gonna be a grind. And this is always possible. They're humans. It's New Year's Day. Yep. They were on the road. Like, there's a bunch of things, from the travel to the celebrations of the night before. There's a lot of things that can conspire against you in a game like this. And yet, early sub for Anthony Simons, Sam Hauser, and Garza, and all of a sudden, like, the energy of the night completely flips.
Yep.
And I thought those 3 in particular were fantastic in the first half. Ugo had his moments. Baylor comes in and gives you some juice as well. And just those 2 kind of just made all the right plays when they had to. And when Sam and Anthony and Garza are knocking down threes, and so the number at halftime?
62, 61.
The starters were 1 of 11 on threes. Boy. The bench were 9 of 10. Like, the number we always track is, well, first off, the 35 points. So if they get over 35 points, they're now 15 and 3 when the bench contributes that much. But there's another number that's like, if the bench makes 7 threes or more,
I did see that.
It's like 15 and 2, so there's something like that. And I mean, when Hauser and all those guys were going off, they got there pretty quickly. But I mean, does it surprise you anymore? Like, on a night-to-night basis, I can't always tell you who it's going to be, but someone on the bench is gonna do something, and the guards is gonna bring energy, and he's gonna do a million screens, and he's gonna chase offensive rebounds. It's just really encouraging the way the bench has become pretty much a nightly factor.
And that's also a testament to Joe Mazzulla. We always talk about it, pushing the right buttons, we like to say, because it's true. Like, he realized, okay, slow start. It was an 8-0 start from Sacramento. And even Jaylen Brown looked a little slow out the gate. Like, their defense, there was better ball movement by Sacramento, and it just wasn't the right. Sometimes that happens. It wasn't the right mix right out the gate. I don't know if it was a lack of energy. Who knows what the reasoning is?
Could be anything on New Year's Day.
There could be that. We don't know what. Although I don't know how much there is to do in Sacramento.
Right. And that's
why I'm like, it's one thing if you're in Miami or in the big cities and you're like, all right, you're slow. Where were you last night? You can't really argue that in Sacramento unless they have spots that
you can find trouble anywhere.
That's true. Anywhere. But Joe did put the right guys in and then said, okay, let me try this group out. And sure enough, you just read those numbers. They impacted the game. And that matters, because that matters going into the second half. Like, we talk about the stats. When they're down, when they trail at the half, it's usually not good, and the outcome. Mm-hmm. And they didn't. By 1 point, but still, right? They were able to carry it over into the second half. The third quarter, a little sluggish, but the bench just stepping out right from the gate, huge.
I mean, again, you spot them an 8-0 lead. You're going to be playing from behind for a little bit. But Garza, Simons, and Sam, 3 3-pointers. It was like a 2-minute stretch. kind of just flipped the energy of the game. All of a sudden, the Celtics kind of back in it. And even though JB just didn't have it in the first half, they kind of stuck with it. Simon's 14 points. He didn't have a great second half, but everybody played their part, from Sam, who ended up starting the second half, giving you the 3-point output, to Garza just being like, every time I look up, I go, when was the last time Garza took a rest? Because he's just always sprinting up and down the court.
He did the arms tonight too. Did you see that?
Everywhere. I laugh. I think he's like trolling us right now. Like, he knows we love when the arms are going. Arms. But yeah, I just love the energy.
Did he do that in college? Do we know?
I can't say I watched enough.
I know, me neither. But I can.
Luka Garza, the best Luka in the NBA, to know for sure. But I suspect this is like,
It's not his first rodeo.
I think it's more pronounced now because as he's gotten so swole.
Yeah.
Like it's those arms are just. So when we throw it in like super slow motion on our broadcast,
I just love it because Luke Cornett did it, and now you have a new guy do it. Like,
right.
It's like a little.
Luke did it jokingly.
I know, but I can't tell.
Luka does it because like he's really trying to crank up the speed. But hey, that hustle is rewarded. Super important tonight. I go back to, you put 7 guys in double figures. You knew JB and Derrick were going to get there. You knew Peyton was going to do what he does. But to find 4 other guys that can help get you there, and the 3 off the bench, that's really encouraging. I mean, the other guy is Nimi Keita, who, a little bit of a revenge game.
Yeah.
He had some motivation. He actually looked a little bit overhyped out of the gates, and I same deal. Like, he had one push shot. I think it was like an air ball. He just.
How about the fight with Precious?
I know, which was like super random.
So rare. I was like, Nimi? It was personal.
But I love that he kind of settled in, and once he got his first bucket, it just sort of took care of itself. It's got to be so frustrating from a Kings fan perspective. They just pretty much gave up on him.
Yeah.
And here he is now starting for the Boston Celtics, who are 3rd in the Eastern Conference, who are doing some amazing things. And so good on all the role players on this team. This felt like very much a team role player night.
Having a vehicle you can rely on, that's important. That's why you can rely on 24 Auto Group. They will treat you like family. And that's because they are family owned and operated. They're honest, easy to work with, and they just get it. Whether you're looking for something sporty, something luxurious, or just a solid everyday ride, 24 Auto Group always comes through. With 9 brands and 11 locations across New England, there's something for everyone. And here's the best part. They've got the knack to save you more on a new or pre-owned vehicle, and the knack to pay you more for your trade, up to $2,400 over book value. You can even drive home with just $24 down. So if you want the best deal without the runaround, go see my guys at 24 Auto Group, because you always get more at 24. Online at 24autogroup.com.
I got a few more things on my list that I want to blast through. Jordan Walsh.
What's up?
DNP in the second half.
What's up? What's up?
So, he
That stood out to me. I mean,
I want to try cautiously because, there was a night we came in here and we didn't know he got benched in the second half one night and it was an illness. Mm-hmm. Now, Joe pretty much directly answered it tonight and said, hey, we're lucky we have a Sam Hauser that can, in the way that the game was going, they wanted him as part of that mix. But it's also a reflection that it's been a little bit up and down lately for Jordan, and he hasn't been able to tap into the same consistency that he had been playing with before this illness. Now, I want to leave open the door that he's still feeling the effects or whatever. It did knock him down for a couple games, but he just either he's gotten in foul trouble or he just hasn't been as laser focused as he was during that stretch. And I think Joe has just had a shorter leash. And so even tonight, he was one of the first subs out in the first half. And I think he had one bad defensive sequence that I remember. But, it's all about how do you handle it, right? And we spent a lot of time talking about Minot not being a DNP now in multiple games. And I think Jordan's just got to understand, he's still in the starting lineup. I don't think they're going to shake that up again. But, they need the version of Jordan Walsh that we've seen for the past few weeks before this. Because he was super important in turning this thing around. And I started looking at the schedule, and when I look at the Clippers coming up, you need as many wing and talented defensive bodies you can throw out there. he's got to tap back into whatever fueled him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm not like disappointed. I think it's too early to be like I'm disappointed. But
Yeah.
It's a long season and it's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have highs, you're gonna have lows, and for him to start out the gate so strong and to exceed probably everyone's expectations, other than like Sam Cassell.
The hype train probably swung too hard, like the hype pendulum.
Yeah.
Right? Like preseason, we're like, oh, is he going to be able to carve out a role?
we're having nicknames. It was like Michael Jordan shit. Like,
Right.
all right, everyone.
And I am fully guilty.
I am too.
But like when Austin Reeves is sitting there saying he has the potential to be one of the best defenders in the NBA, it's hard not to get swept up in the hype.
And by the way, that hype is, I think, maybe sure we can overhype stuff a little, but it was still valid. Like it was warranted because
Yes.
he has been.
Did you just hear how my voice went up like 3 octaves trying to
Yes.
justify that? Yeah.
It's true though. Like he has. I don't want to discredit all that he has done. And who knows? Like maybe this illness is a thing. Like I look at Kristaps Porzingis with that. Like illnesses can strike you. I just hope that whatever it is, whether it's an illness, whether it's something else, I don't know. I just hope that he does get back into the swing of what he already initiated here in the season.
It could just be typical 21-year-old who hasn't played a lot of NBA minutes where, some nights it looks great and some nights it's a little bit more of a grind. And I think we got so spoiled by how good he was in that stretch and like the fact that they like couldn't take him off the court for some. But they need his defense. They need his rebounding. Like the Celtics defense.
Energy too.
Yeah.
Like the whole nine.
It's such it's a luxury what he's giving them when he's out there and they're playing to the level that we saw. That now when you lose it, it's a little bit more noticeable, right? Like the defense for the Celtics was not good in the first half of this game, and it took till the fourth quarter to really crank that up. And Ugo can do what he can do, and Baylor has been great, but like. Having Walsh to go check the best player on the other team is a stress off Jalen. It's a stress off Derrick. It just makes things go. So eager to see how he does it. Speaking of Ugo, there was a sequence in the fourth quarter where he had a steal and broke in alone. And instead of dunking over Dennis Schroeder, he or Russell Westbrook, whoever it was on the other end, I think it was Westbrook.
Yeah.
He just tried to finger roll it or whatever and missed it. And Joe called the timeout, which was a use it or lose it. But mainly he called the timeout just to yell at Ugo and be like, you got to dunk that ball.
Peyton was dribbling too. And Peyton's like, why are you, like, you could just see on Peyton's face, he's like, why are you calling a timeout? But Joe was so mad. And Ugo had a little smirk because he knew. He knew.
Well, at first, I think he was like, oh, no, he's calling this timeout to yell at me. And then when he realized why he was yelling at him, mostly because he's like, that was a perfect opportunity to dunk it or at least drop it off to Peyton and have something cool happen. It's a nice reminder that, again, doesn't matter if you're up, doesn't matter. Like the Celtics were running away with that thing at that point. They had built a double-digit lead, and Joe still wanted to just take a minute to be like, hey,
it's so
dunk the basketball.
It's so good. And it's actually teaching these guys too. Like all gas, no brakes, but he's building their individual confidence throughout the game. Like he's saying, hey, like you want to get hype, you want to get your confidence going, like dunk it. I loved it. I loved every part about it.
The last thing on my list is the hustle displayed by our studio maven, Jeff Garcia.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you threw this in there. I'm so glad. Please, we have to have footage of it.
I really hope we one of those cameras had to be operational
like
at that
a sky
point.
cam view.
We got to find out what camera angles we're running in the studio at that point. So to give you guys a peek behind the curtain, especially late at night, it can sometimes, especially on the weekends, like it can be not a lot of people in the studio with us, but Jeff is our guy.
He's the best,
and
by the
who's
way.
with us for probably 90% of these games, and especially when we're over at the Garden. And you probably, if you've heard us mention Garcia at some point on the broadcast, it's mostly because he would like do a little jig when we'd be going to PostGame Plus, and but he is way more important than just dancing into the final 2 blocks of the night. He does all the cameras and
he's always on point. Jeff is like getting everyone mic'd up, has everyone numbered. Yeah. If you're panicking, he's calm, cool, collected. Like Jeff is your go-to. He's the best. He's the best.
Well, long-winded setup to say that. So at the end of towards the end of these games, we file into the studio. And we were just gabbing, and you were showing me a Peyton Pritchard's sister on TikTok.
Yeah. She has a great video about her dad. We'll talk about this later. Her dad calling Peyton Pritchard's sister was at the Jazz game, and her dad called her, and Peyton's dad was not fond of his shooting, and says, "Hey, can you tell Peyton to change his shot to shoot?" So it's a great TikTok. Go look at it. But anyway, I'm showing Chris this. Continue.
So, because we're just in this break waiting for postgame to start, and I'm plugged in because we wanted to listen to the end of the game, and we can see our monitors and stuff like that. But so we only have two things we have to do. We have to plug into a box so we can hear people, and we have to put our microphone on so that you can hear us on the audience. I failed at one of the two things.
And do it before we go on TV.
And I can tell you, we've been in this building. I'll just limit it to this building for like 5 years now. I think this is the first time I've done it.
No,
really?
I believe that actually.
Because we're just suckers for routine, and we're always walking in, and like it just feels like natural. But this is the first time that I've ever. I don't know why I thought of it. I think because I knew. I was like, it hit me that as we're coming up, and we show
5 seconds.
We show a brief. We show a
really.
brief highlight. So I know I got maybe 10 max.
Yeah.
And I scream Garcia my microphone, and he is a good 30 yards away from me at this point.
Didn't even flinch.
He was in a chair. He got up with this speed that I had not seen from Jeff Garcia, and sprinted to the table. I think he managed to turn on the mic.
Turn it on.
While running across the studio, and then launched it, and somehow it hit the desk and just slid right to me. And like some sort of magician, because now the cameras are coming up, he peels out right and gets out of the shot, and I'm sitting there holding the mic and looking dumbfounded like I've just seen a ghost.
I see all of this happen, and I'm trying to you guys have no idea what's going on because obviously it goes right from the game to this, and we're like, hey everyone, welcome to Celtics postgame live. But I am dying because it was just like
it was great.
It was so acrobatic, like it was amazing. It was art. There's
so many times that Scal's earpiece will pop out or whatever, and Garcia will have to run in and kind of, while something's on the screen, he'll plug them back in, or your battery will go out, or we drop something and he has to come help us. This was the first time where like I couldn't be stealth about what I was doing because like I was just I'm holding it. So I was just like, I'm gonna own it. I'm like, hey, what's up, everybody?
But that's the thing, like right out the gate, I think like there was just movement from the left side because I don't know if it was like the wind gusts from Garcia leaving. A lot of
activity.
It was so funny.
Yeah,
I hope
great.
we can find footage of it because poor Eddie is like, what's going on?
Yeah, poor Eddie is sitting there probably looking at his little Zoom window because everything's so much smaller on the Zoom window, and he's got to be like, what is going on there?
Are these guys okay? And I'm dying laughing. Like,
is Forsberg doing another Rob Williams figurine bit?
Gosh, we will find video and we will post it because it was art.
My way of saying, here I am spending much of my night lamenting, like, oh, the Celtics have to be better. You got to be locked in. New year, new Celtics. Got to bring the energy every night. And I can't even get my own bleep together. So
that's a very humble approach. You do have your bleep.
Hand up. That's on me.
But talk about, hey, you know what?
Oh.
Bench points. And Garcia's better than the bench. But
right.
like, full team effort.
I said some nights I don't want to consider ourselves the starters.
That's why, that's why I tested that.
I'll consider ourselves starters.
No.
But Garcia, who plays a pivotal role, who is a key contributor every night, being ready in that moment, I had to give him his flowers. We are nothing without the people around us. So shout out to all the people it's probably not a good night. It's beyond the game pod, but we should spend one pod at some point introducing you to all the cast of characters around this building that one, just make us look good, and two, make sure the product that you see is as brilliant as it is.
Because it's 1:48 right now a.m. and they're cutting up film.
1:48 a.m.
Wow.
And they are hopefully some of them went home to get some sleep because
please.
We have a 10:30 game.
Can I take? Night. I have eyelashes on. Can I rip them off?
I think the YouTube people would love to see that. The audio version, I'm not sure.
I just ripped mine off. I'm New Year's out.
I can't do the same.
It's what you need. You don't want these.
We need another podcast about the amazing eyebrows on the Boston Celtics roster.
Oh my gosh.
Ugo and Garza are just like the brow bros. It's just another level. How you feeling now?
I have one that looks like a bat, and one's just. This is where we're at. It's 1:50 a.m. The lashes are coming off, everybody.
I need everybody to go like,
Yes,
go
please.
subscribe, go check us out on the YouTube page. I hope you understand. Like this is about as late as we've ever been in this room, non-playoff edition, and you should feel fortunate that we decided to do a podcast tonight. Because at some point I said, I don't know if I'm gonna do a podcast
I know.
tonight.
No,
No, but we have to do it. We have to bring it every single night,
Yep.
especially this being the first one of the new year. So
Amen.
everybody go like, go subscribe. We'll catch you on Saturday night when we won't be as sleepy.